What is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing here a Galarian Weezing deck profile. Now this is something I have done before, but not as a main focus. Weezing is not necessarily the card you want to focus on in most cases, but in this case I figured let's give it a go as a main focus card, because keep in mind, even as a main focus card, it's quite powerful. The neutralizing gas is just something that completely locks out your opponents from being able to do anything at all, and I just find that to be quite a significant ability that not enough people take advantage of. However, with that being said, if you do enjoy this kind of video, definitely consider dropping a like, share, comment and subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the bell notification as well, it really does help. However, with that all out of the way, let's get started. Alright, so starting off here we have our Weezing engine. So we have 3 copies of Weezing and 3 copies of Coughing. The amazing thing about this particular engine is that Coughing itself can actually just evolve, which is definitely really fantastic. So that's definitely a great bonus to the deck, because it takes away any potential chance of you having to search out your Weezings, and instead your Coughings will go directly into your deck. And what I like about Coughing as well is that by accessing your deck just to evolve your Coughing into a Weezing, you also get to look at your deck as well, so you get a good idea of what's actually in your prize zones versus what's actually in your deck. So that way, by being able to quickly skim through your deck, you can know exactly what you could play based on what you're missing and based on what you actually have available. And of course with Weezing, its ability alone is already something that is well worth it. And yes, although Severe Poison does only put 4 damage counters, the fact that you're already locking out the abilities is already a big deal. That means no Jirachi engine, that means they can't play Crobat, that means they can't play Eldegoss, no Snorlax. It's just all really amazing to stop the opponent. However, for a bit of a supporting engine, we definitely still have to play the Obstagoons. The Obstagoons, we don't have to play 4 copies, just 2 copies is enough. We don't even have to play Linoon, because together with the Zigzagoons, we essentially just go into a rare candy right into our Obstagoon, which is definitely a really efficient play without wasting space in your actual deck. And keep in mind, Knuckle Impact is still always a very strong card as well. Plus Wicked Ruler, keeping your opponent's hand to 4 cards only, it's amazing. They only are allowed to have 4 cards at a time, but then you have Weezing, which is pretty much just locking their ability. So what are they really going to do here? They don't want to play it down because the abilities won't work and they're just going to clog up their bench. However, that doesn't mean that you can't use your own abilities. So we have Snorlax here just to maintain some power at times by drawing into more cards, and the same applies for the Crobat V. We're keeping a really minimal amount of Pokemon in the deck just so that we don't clog up the actual bench too much. So as for searching, we're going to be playing here 4 Quick Ball, 4 Evolution Incense just for consistency. Any of the extras you have, you could always just discard using the Quick Ball anyway, or you could discard it via research. And then of course the Level Ball will add your more weaker Pokemon out there, mainly just the Coughing and the Zigzagoons. But since you don't have too many targets, it doesn't really matter how much you actually play. I'd say no more than 2 copies of Level Ball. Of course, to no surprise, we are playing the 2 rare candies. We only need 2 since we only have 2 Obstagoons anyway. But of course, we're also playing here the Scoop Up Nets, really powerful, allowing you to reuse your own cards. So in this particular case, you want to reuse your Crobat Vs, or do you want to reuse your Zigzagoons? Definitely works out. If you need a switch as well, you could definitely do so. Snorlax is quite annoying to actually have out there, so perhaps you might use the switch to switch from your Snorlaxes back into your own Weezings or Obstagoons. Of course, for a bit of utility, we have here the Ordinary Rod, we have the Tool Scrappers, and we also have the 2 Pokemon Catchers, just to get a bit of control whenever we actually need to. Alright, so for supporters, let's take advantage of the fact that this is a dark deck, so we definitely want to play 4 copies of Piers. I know it seems a bit much, but the fact that you could add not only a Pokemon, but you could also add an energy, that's just so powerful. The energy is what makes this deck so crucial, so for Piers to actually be able to search out both the Pokemon and the energy is fantastic. Not to mention, Piers going directly into the Crobat V just to go for the draw as well. Also really powerful move. Now since this deck actually also has a lot of single prizes, the Brunos will definitely work out quite well as well. And it's no surprise that I'm playing Boss's Orders. You want to know what Pokemon to actually bring out to knock out whenever you need to. In this case, you have a Knuckle Impact ready from the Obstagoon, so you use Boss's Orders to bring out the right Pokemon to knock out. Next up, of course, 2 Marnies, good disruption, good way to recycle and replenish your hand. And of course, the research will allow you to get into your deck a lot quicker as well. Finally, we have our energy. We're playing 4 hiding energy, no doubt. I mean, we're playing 3 copies of Weezing and 2 copies of Obstagoon. If anything, it's not enough dark energies, but we only are allowed to play 4 copies of hiding energy anyway, but it gives us free retreat, which is a bonus we definitely have to take advantage of. But of course, that's one of the reasons why I'm playing extra switches, because we also sometimes need to do a bit of switching, just in case we don't have the hiding energy we need. But with that being said, we still do have here the 4 basic dark energy as well. Definitely still really crucial for the deck. Sorry, did I say 4? I meant 3. But it makes up for what the deck actually would possibly need. Last but not least, we have over here the 2 copies of Twin Energy as well as the 1 copy of Capture Energy. Really amazing for the actual deck itself as well. If you wanted to increase the Capture Energy, I honestly wouldn't recommend it. Capture Energy is really just there to put in a slot for one of your Pokemon. That way you could like fill up the energy, so in this case it would work out with the Twin Energy to put into your Obstagoons. Though with Capture Energy not being a dark energy and not working with the Weezings, there's honestly no need to play any more copies than what you have here. However, as for the Twin Energy, since you have 2 Obstagoons, you play exactly 2 just to go into it. Even if you lose it, it doesn't really matter, you could still attach slowly anyway. You always have here the neutralizing gas from the Weezing to slow down the opponent. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this particular deck profile. The whole point behind this deck is to slow down your opponent while you're building up resources and slowly chipping away at their Pokemon's life. By trying out more casual decks, you guys could actually see a more broader example of different cards and the way they interact. You'll see different techniques and different strategies being employed in a different manner. So when it actually comes down to it, for you to actually go into a more competitive scene, you'll know how to counter everything, and you might be able to throw in some techniques used by more casual decks to catch the competitive players off guard. However, definitely leave me your thoughts as to what you think about this. Otherwise, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all next time.